Greetings, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Nicolas Cage's newest movie, Willy's Wonderland. It's a true first for the Nicolas Uncaged series, as it isn't something that came out in the 90s. Isn't that exciting? Even though its runtime is only about 80 minutes, I have a lot to talk about, so let's dive right in. This is Redeye Reviews. Now, one of the reasons I have an entire series dedicated to Nicolas Cage is because he is one of the few actors I have seen that genuinely loves to act.
I had no idea.
Yes, he takes a lot of roles, and a fair portion of them are for really bad movies, but in every film he is always the best part, and it stems from his pure love of the craft. And this movie in particular just proves how much fun he has making movies. And when somebody has fun doing something, you have more fun watching it.
I'll be damned if I didn't get really turned on.
I'm sorry, that sounded a little dirty, but in Willy's Wonderland, our boy plays the janitor. He's the embodiment of cool, dare I say Clint Eastwood cool. Now, this movie is directed by a rather unknown artist, Kevin Lewis. I researched him a bit, and I didn't really recognize any of his movies. However, I'm sure this movie will put him on the map, as it's awesome. In his own words, he considers this movie a mix between Pale Rider and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which, fun fact, one of this movie's producers, Grant Kramer, was actually in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, so maybe that's where he got some of his source material. If you haven't seen that movie, it's amazing. One of the big hitters in the B-rated horror genre, I would say. We might do a video on it later down the line, who knows. Now, before I forget, let's go over the plot of this movie real quick. If you don't want to know the plot, just skip forward to this timestamp, and here we go. So the janitor is a man whose car tires pop while riding through this small town. The owner of Willy's Wonderland says he will fix it for free if he spends the night cleaning up this old fun center, as he plans on reopening it soon. And he gets welcomed into the Willy Wonderland family.
You are officially on staff.
While he cleans the place, he gets attacked by an assortment of evil animatronics. And to add some complications to the scenario, a group of teenagers show up to burn the evil building to the ground, and they wind up getting involved in the mayhem. It gets revealed that the town knows about the horror of the place and sacrifices a person every now and then to keep these evil robots satisfied, and so that they won't attack the townspeople. But none of this deters our janitor, as he not only defeats every single robot, but keeps his promise and cleans the entire place while doing so. Now, what makes this movie so great is obviously the janitor. He is told to clean the place and take breaks, and he takes those commands to heart, and he does just that, to an obsessive level. And it's hilarious. It doesn't matter what is happening, his watch beeps for break time, and he goes and takes his break. An evil message is left on a mirror for him, he cleans it up. And all while keeping his appearance highly professional, because he is, after all, representing the Willy Wonderland family. Now, when the kids arrived, it activated an ability I have with horror movies that I have long forgotten. The stereotypical character tropes of a classic horror film. And this movie is so self-aware of them that they ham the characters up to 11. Like, we have the good girl.
You're not safe in there. We gotta get you out.
Her love interest.
We gotta go after her.
The best friend.
We just don't need any more Batman bullshit.
The stoner.
I grew it myself. I call it no clue.
How much THC's in it?
No clue.
The bad girl.
Well, that was rude.
And our diversity character.
If he don't want to be safe, it's his ass, not ours.
It's 2021. I'm going to say diversity character from now on. And each character plays their part beautifully. The best friend dies for no reason. Shit. The stoner gets attacked while alone. The bad girl and the diversity character die while having sex.
Bobby, that thing just moved.
Where the fuck did it go?
And our love interest dies protecting the good girl.
It's gonna be okay. Okay, we're gonna make a deal, and...
It makes me so happy to see how self-aware the characters are, and it's obvious that this was the intention of the director to play it this way, and I can respect him for that even more. Oh, I forgot to mention the best part of this movie. Nicolas Cage doesn't say a single word. He has the occasional grunt or shout. But not one word of spoken dialogue. He feels like the main character in a video game where they didn't record voice lines for them, so both parts of the interaction are told by the other character.
Where'd you say you're from? Oh, you one of those guys don't want to look back, huh? You one that the past lives in the past, huh? Yeah, I understand.
And I absolutely love this choice. And I know Nick Cage did as well, because he has said numerous times how much of a fan he is at old school silent horror films. And this film has to be his sort of dedication piece to that era of cinema. His character is just so much fun. Like, he's a janitor, right? So what does he use as a weapon to fight evil? Well, a mop, of course. Or a plunger. He needs to fix his wounds? Duct tape could work. Duct tape works for most janitor things. I'm sure the same principles can be applied to the human body. Nick Cage is just so beautifully deranged in this movie, whether he is cleaning, dancing in the kitchen, or brutally destroying robotic enemies. He really pulls a page out of his recent success in the movie Mandy. If you don't think we're going to talk about Mandy, we're absolutely going to talk about Mandy in this series. Now, even setting Nick Cage aside for a moment, the environment and sound is actually very well done. The choices in lighting, the music, the oil, the blood, the messes. It has all the needed ingredients for that classic 80s slasher film vibe. And you throw the most treasured actor to ever live on top of that, and yeah, it's going to be an instant cult classic. That, and I can't get this dumb birthday song out of my head.
It's your birthday, so let's party everyone.
Since I saw the movie, which that has to count for something. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and the most obvious, for those of you that are video game players, you will immediately recognize the relationship to Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a horror game about surviving in like a Chuck E. Cheese style establishment with killer animatronics trying to kill you. And even though the writer and director didn't admit and will never admit to this, yeah, it's a blatant ripoff of that game. However, I don't think that takes away from how much I love the movie. It'll just be interesting to see how this movie affects the game series, as they also have planned to make a movie adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I can only imagine that movie will have to do so much to separate itself from this one, but I mean, we'll see if that's even possible, because this, like I said, it's a dead ringer. Oh, and the cherry on top of this bloody, oily masterpiece is the song Freebird. Yeah. Getting the rights to this song must have cost more than the rest of the production, but hands down worth it. It's such a perfect overlay to the end of this movie. We watch the janitor claim his prize and ride off into the sunset. It's perfect. Now, I'm so biased on Cage films, but if I had to rate it, I will give this movie a perfect 5 out of 7 killer clowns. And that's a callback. Now, a quick shout out. One of my subscribers, Carnosaur, was hoping for the days of old, when the Uncaged series had more trivia, and I promise you, buddy, it will. I really appreciate any and all feedback because you guys are my audience, and I want you to be happy. That being said, this movie is just so new and so indie, I have found next to nothing in terms of trivia, but I will give you a little nugget of a Nicolas Cage story. He once woke up to a naked home invader wearing his leather jacket and eating a fudgesicle at the foot of his bed. I don't know why I picked that specific story to tell you, but now we're all just a little bit closer to one another. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. That last one is the most important one. I need that subscriber count to go up. I'm working very hard to do so, and it is rewarding to see that tiny number climb. With that in mind, we'll see you in the next one, and until then, stay happy and stay healthy.